parties at the Eskom wage negotiations have been meeting with a mediator to try and find middle ground in the protracted negotiations. Workers have rejected the 7% salary increase put forward by the employer, and they are demanding an 8% increase for this year and 500 rand housing allowance as well as 12% bonus. Reporter Glorious Sefako-Musi earlier spoke to Eskom spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe on the latest from Eskom's side.
Both parties actually want to see this matter coming to an end. We are into round 4 of the wage negotiations now. In terms of the rules of engagement, we only have 3 rounds of wage negotiations before the matter is taken to the CCMA. Now that Eskom and the unions have taken this into round 4, it means that all of us want to see a resolution on this impasse. So we are relatively confident as a company that this matter will be resolved, hopefully by end of business today, if not, at least very soon.
The unions are demanding at least 8% for this year, and you've moved from 0 to 7%. Can you tell us as to where is this money going to come from?
Well, we have already indicated that we're going to have to trim a lot of fat within the company. Already for the next, say, 5 years, we're going to trim over 100 billion rand, 50 billion coming from the operating expenditure of Eskom, another 50 coming from the capital investment program of Eskom, which is mainly Kusile. So we're going to have to cut a lot of stuff, some of which was, I would say, not necessary, or at least necessary, but not, I would say, needed at this particular point because of the financial pressures that we are seeing now. The other dynamic is that there are a number of municipalities across the nation that owe Eskom over 14 billion rand. We are pursuing those municipalities. We want our money back. And some of them we have already started switching them off because of them failing to reach an agreement with us. And then the other element is other companies outside of municipalities that are also owing us, like McKinsey and Trillion, for example. Already McKinsey has done the right thing. They have paid 902 million rand. We are pursuing Trillion so that they too can pay back the money. So from our end, those are some of the things that are going to help us in terms of recovering those monies, and some of which will be used to offset the demands that are coming from the unions.
To what extent is the retrenchments an issue? Should Eskom have to settle at a higher percentage than what you had budgeted for?
Well, at this stage, retrenchments have not been put on the table because we as a company do not believe that we need to retrench people at this stage at least. So what management is doing is to see what can be done outside of retrenching people in terms of reducing the costs. And the cost structures really for Eskom are primarily in relation to the coal costs, plus also some of the projects that we currently are embarking on. Some of them we feel, as the management has already indicated, that we can trim our operating costs here and there, and also our capital investment program, without necessarily reducing the numbers. So on average, over the last few years, Eskom has been losing about 4% of its staff because of natural attrition. This is a situation where people either resign for various reasons, others get fired for whatever offenses, others are just retiring because of old age. That's how the numbers have been gradually going down, but retrenchments have not been put on the table at this stage.
Trimming on capital investment, is that not going to create another problem?
No, actually at Medupi we have done 90% of the work, which is why we are able to trim down some of the programs there without compromising the completion dates and without making or incurring any further delays. So we are comfortable with what we have done so far. The same applies with Kusile. Kusile we have done about just over 85% of the work. So we are relatively comfortable that the trimmings that we are going to do there are not going to have any direct bearing on the completion dates and the quality of work that needs to happen.